You know, in this day and age, when we look around, we can truly see that we are on the precipice of something is about to happen. You know, Bible prophecy is truly unfolded before our eyes, and not to see that would be almost to act ignorant, especially if you're someone who studies scripture and looks into prophecy. Also, when you look at the planet, it's almost like the earth is vomiting out all the sin that has happened since the fall of Adam, and we're seeing the earth is starting to erupt. It's groaning and moaning and longing for the time that Jesus comes to restore the earth back to with what we call its former glory. What I wanted to show you, many people ask the question, what are the signs? Surely it can't be happening. And I've just compiled one big one to show you all the things that are happening all over the world. But one major event that I've been keeping my eye on for a long time happened in Yellowstone, which is after setting records. Have a look for yourself. Remember to watch it in full to get the full context, and smash the like button so that someone who doesn't know Christ may come to get to the understanding of who Christ truly is. Now more than ever, our goal here at Prophecy Unfolding is to make sure the gospel is spread, and that's why we have a huge goal going forward, and you'll find that in the description. Have a look at this and I'll see you on the other side.
Beryl is an unprecedented storm. None have formed as quickly or have intensified as fast in Atlantic hurricane history. And satellite pictures show it's not done yet.
The hurricane has been upgraded to a Category 5, and it is the strongest recorded storm to form this early in the season in the Atlantic.
And the number of fires in Brazil's Amazon rainforest has gone up by more than 60% in the first 6 months of the year, reaching its worst level in 2 decades. Brazil's space agency has reported 13,500 fires. The country's environment minister says most of the fires have been initiated by farmers clearing the land for agriculture. She's also blamed climate change and the El Niño weather phenomenon for the drought that has parched the region.
A fearless team of storm-chasing scientists is shedding new light on the power of last month's deadly EF4 twister that leveled parts of Greenfield, Iowa.
Wind speeds in this tornado topped 300 miles per hour.
Yeah, so with our radar, we calculated wind speeds of over 300 miles per hour, which is very fast and very strong wind speeds.
300 miles per hour. Only the third tornado ever recorded with winds that strong. And it moved, they say, at up to 55 miles per hour, twice a twister's typical speed.
It's very rare.
Fire crews on the Greek island of Kos are battling wildfires that forced locals and tourists to seek shelter overnight. More than 100 firefighters are still tackling the blaze.
Dozens of fires broke out across the country over the weekend, and people planning holidays to Greece are warned there could be more to come over the summer, as the country's had its warmest winter and earliest heatwave on record already this year.
The question now, will it hit us here in the U.S., where a scorching heat wave has 120 million people under heat alerts tonight, and a massive California wildfire, look at this, has forced tens of thousands to evacuate.
Why is nobody talking about the fact that Yellowstone just had a hydrothermal explosion, which supposedly has never happened in history?
She ran to the other side. Holy shit.
In the last 24 hours, hundreds of earthquakes around the Hawaiian Islands. Volcano in Italy blew up today. Texas had one of their biggest earthquakes recorded in history last night, I believe, it made cracks in the ground that were hours and hours away. This is just warning shots from our beautiful earth. I feel that something's about to go down. I know I sound crazy, but you believe in God, you need to get right with the Lord. If you don't, then you need to get right with whatever you need to get right. If y'all don't hear any posts from me, and after a couple of weeks, I was assassinated. Wait.
Even by hurricane standards, Beryl is a brute. This was Cariaco, an island of Grenada, when the hurricane was a Category 4. It's now been upgraded to Category 5. 160-mile-an-hour winds and savage storm surges have left swathes of the Caribbean flattened and flooded.
This is actually the strongest storm that we've had in my lifetime.
So many people have lost their boats. There's nothing more we can do but stand and watch total destruction. Our livelihood gone down with rain.
To see storms on this scale is rare. In July, it's almost unheard of. If we look at every recorded Category 5 hurricane broken down month by month, we can see that September is the peak season because that's when the ocean is at its warmest. Now, Beryl, on the 2nd of July, is 2 weeks earlier than the previous earliest, set in 2005. And here is a key reason why. This line shows the surface temperatures in the tropical area of the Atlantic, whilst the red line shows this year. It's already nearly as warm now as it is at the September peak.
Our ocean temperatures are increasing.
With that dangerous heat, wildfires continue to rage in Northern California. Nearly 30,000 people in the city of Oroville forced to evacuate. The Thompson fire destroying homes and structures in its path. Several firefighters injured.
Tonight, the quick-moving Thompson fire near Oroville raging in Northern California. More than 3,500 acres scorched so far with 0% containment.
More than 1 million people have been affected by flooding in Bangladesh. Authorities have warned of dangerous flood levels in 13 districts in the Sylhet division in the northeast. Tens of thousands have been isolated by floodwaters. Thousands more have been evacuated to temporary shelters after continuous rain for nearly a month. Yeah, I wanted to ask you about that because you were mentioning there that the Indian floodwaters are coming into Bangladesh, as you were talking about with the opening of the dams there, but also there does seem to be a more frequency in terms of the flooding, and the monsoon rain patterns also seem to have changed. What is the speculation about what's driving this?
Well, the climate experts are saying the weather system, the El Nino, is playing a tricks on this. You see more frequency, and the pattern is different than maybe decades ago. And also a lot of man-made disasters also. Deforestation in the Indian Northeast hilly mountain regions, which is causing floodwater to throw more easily and causing landslide.
In the Amazon, as you said, there's a record-breaking number of fires in 20 years for the first 6 months. But, of course, there was the record-breaking drought in the Amazon, 2023, 2024, all over the Amazon. And this is, yes, this is related to a strong El Nino phenomena from June, July 2023 through April, May 2024. But also record-breaking North Atlantic Ocean temperature that is changing the climate of the whole planet, including, as your report showed earlier, this almost record-breaking hurricane now hitting, in the Caribbean. This is all related to this very, very hot temperature in the ocean. So that induced this record-breaking drought. But of course, when there is a record-breaking drought, there is not many lightnings. So lightning ignited fires are very, very little. So out of these 13,000 fires, less than 3% are related to lightning ignited fires. So it's all related to man-made fires. Organized crime wants to get rid of the Amazon forest. They want to really to get rid of the forest, to transform the forest into huge cattle ranches, gold mining, other mining.
When I look at all these signs that are happening, that what we call the physical signs on Earth, a video I did the last time showing you that the Earth is cursed because of the fall of Adam. When that happened, God cursed the Earth, and now we're seeing the Earth is reacting more intensely and much more frequently. And as we've seen, as these things, as sin has been built up, the Earth it's like it's spewing all of it back out, because we know that the Earth is longing and groaning for the time that Christ does come back. The good news is we're still here and we still have time that the gospel of Christ can be spread, and that anyone who's watching this that doesn't know who Christ is, he can be found very, very easily. You know, Scripture tells us that all those who look or who seek will find him, and knock on the door will be opened. He is not far away. He lived, he died and rose again for you and for me. Remember, regardless of all the chaos that's going on in the world, God's always in control, and keep the faith.